Are you ever like, why is this such a big deal about Jay?
Yeah, I don't understand it, honestly. He was a teammate of mine. Maybe not my favorite teammate. Maybe not. We weren't best friends, but he was my teammate. So I don't understand why people always want to talk about it and bring it up. And then at the end of the conversation, it's always like, "Oh, he hates Jay." I don't hate Jay. I don't understand how people say
Yeah.
that, but just because he wasn't like it was just a. People ask me what kind of teammate he was. He was just different. You know, you different for a quarterback to have a teammate like that because he wasn't very vocal. He wasn't very outgoing. That's just the way he was. Though that's the way the Bears traded for him, knowing that, and that's what we got.
Maybe that's the most important thing with Jay Cutler to remember is that a lot of players can be aloof in the NFL. A lot of
Yeah.
players can be to themselves or play by their own rules or whatever. Doesn't make them a bad teammate. It just means that they're not part of the in crowd necessarily. It's just rare for a
Yeah,
quarterback, right?
quarterbacks don't normally. Usually, the outgoing guys trying to get your teammates together,
Yeah.
or it's just that wasn't his mo. He was just different in that aspect, and it worked for him. He was a pretty good quarterback there for a couple of years, but it was just different for me to see a quarterback like that because we had some guys who were really really into our team before him.
Yeah. Did it make you frustrated at times? Like, why can't we get this out of him? Or did you kind of
No.
accept him just as the person that he
It
was?
didn't. He was. That wasn't his role in our team. We had plenty of guys who could
Right.
fill that role and who were leaders in the locker room and on the field. So it really wasn't a bit. I wasn't like, why isn't Jay doing this? It wasn't like that at all. It just that's the way it was, and we dealt with it.
Brandon Marshall was on the show earlier in the week, and he has kind of had the same relationship that, well, I guess he was closer to Jay
At the beginning, yeah,
in Denver. Yeah, and then he said, Jay changed when he got to Chicago. We didn't get the same Jay. I wonder why that is. I mean, that was kind of interesting. I was also wondering how was it to play with Brandon Marshall because he's so
I
outgoing.
love Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
If you like guys who get to work every day, ready to go to work and bust their butts in practice. I mean, practice will start at 1:30. He's out there at 12:45 catching balls on a judge machine. He's in the weight room every day. I have a ton of respect for Brandon Marshall. Played hurt, always at work, practicing hard. I got a lot of respect for guys. Did he get crazy on Sunday sometimes? Yeah, but he wanted to win just as much as anybody, and I think that's what the reasons for his outburst sometimes because he wanted to win. And he knew for us to win, he had to get the football.
And can you accept that from a guy more because he's there early, because he's working hard when he has those outbursts?
For sure, yeah. I mean, it never bothered me. I think you kind of expected it at some point from Brandon. From everything we heard, I only played 1 year with Brandon,
Yeah.
and it was fun to play with him. But I think you kind of expect it when you know a guy's busting his tail trying to get his work done on the football field.